Hey everybody, so we're continuing with our Bible study. So y'all go to Matthew chapter 23, and here we go. Then Jesus spoke to the multitudes and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. Therefore, whatever they tell you to observe, that observe and do, but do not do according to their works, for they say and do not do. Basically, he's saying that the Pharisees and the Sadducees, they sit in Moses' seat. They are there to preach and teach the people, to instruct them. But, however, what they preach and what they tell them to, and what they direct them to do, them themselves does not do. So what Jesus is saying, do as they say, but don't do as they do. For they bind heavy burdens, hard to bear, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. But all their works they do to be seen by men. They make their phylacteries broad and enlarge the borders of their garments. They love the best places at the feast, the best seats in the synagogue, greetings in the marketplace, and to be called by men, Rabbi, Rabbi. So basically, Jesus is saying that the Pharisees like the benefits that come with being in power. Now, when I say this, I'm not speaking about those who are leaders of the church. Are some of them leaders of a church because they like what comes with being a leader of a church? I'm pretty sure there are some that are like that, but that is between them and God. However, if you notice the leaders we have in our government, they definitely like what comes with being in leadership. For they will speak and preach victimhood just so they can keep people against each other, so they don't lose their position of power. For if they came out and actually told people, hey, I started where you started, but look at me now. If I did it, you could do it. To them, oh, well, I'm raising up the next potential to take my spot. And like once these people get a hold of that power, they do not like giving it up. And the Pharisees and Sadducees are doing the same thing here. But you do not be called rabbi, for one is your teacher, the Christ. You are all brethren. Do not call anyone on earth your father, for one is Father, he who is in heaven. Catholics, that's something to think about. What are y'all required to say to the priest? Y'all go, Father? And Jesus is telling us, do not call anyone Father, for you only have one Father. And that is he who is in heaven. And do not be called teacher, for one is your teacher, the Christ. But he who is greatest among you shall be your servant. And whoever exalts himself will be humble, and he who humbles himself will be exalted. But woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you shut up the kingdom of heaven against men, for you neither go in yourselves, nor do you allow those who are entering to go in. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you devour walled houses, and for pretense make long prayers. Therefore, you will receive great condemnations. As again, what Jesus is saying here is what Jesus is trying to get us to see, that true leadership is not about, oh, what can the people do for me? It's what can I do for the people. True leadership is going to be willing to roll up their sleeves and not only direct you on what to do or how to go, they're willing to do it themselves. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you travel land and sea to win one proselyte, and when he is won, you make him twice as much a son of hell as yourself. Woe to you, blind guides, who say, whoever swears by the temple is nothing, but whoever swears by the gold of the temple, he is obligated to perform it. Fools and blind, for what is greater, the gold or the temple that sacrificed the gold? And whoever swears by the altar, it is nothing, but whoever swears by the gift that is on it, he is obligated to perform it. Fools and blind, for which is greater, the gift or the altar, and that sanctifies the gift? Therefore, he who swears by the altar swears by it and by all things on it. He who swears by the temple swears by it and by him who dwells in it. And he who swears by heaven swears by the throne of God and by him who sits on it. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees! See, hypocrites, for you pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and have neglected the weightier matters of the law, justice and mercy, and the weightless matters of the law, justice and mercy and faith. Those you ought to have done without leaving the others undone. Meaning the Pharisees focus on what you can give and what you can sacrifice, and they forget the key parts of the law, which the key parts of the law is justice, mercy, and faith. Blind guides who strain out a gnat and swallow a camel. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you cleanse the outside of the cup and dish, but inside they are full of extortion and self-indulgence. And that's speaking of how on the outside they present themselves as righteous, but on the inside they're full of malice. Blind Pharisees, first cleanse the inside of the cup and dish, that the outside of them may be clean also. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you are like whitewashed tombs, which indeed appear beautiful outwardly, but inside are full of dead men's bones and all uncleanness. Even so, you also outwardly appear righteous to men, but inside you are full of hypocrisy and lawlessness. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! Because you built the tombs of the prophets and adorn the monuments of the righteous, and say, if we had lived in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Therefore, you are witnesses against yourself that you are sons of those who murdered the prophets. Fill up then the measures of your father's guilt. Serpents, brood of vipers, how can you escape the condemnations of hell? Therefore, indeed, I send you prophets, wise men, and scribes. Some of them you will kill and crucify, and some of them you will scourge in your synagogues and prosecute them city to city, that on you may come all the righteous bloodshed on the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel to the blood of Zechariah, son of Berechiah, whom you murdered between the temple and the altar. Assuredly I say to you, all these things will come upon this generation. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, the one who kills the prophets and stones those who are sent to her. How often I wanted to gather your children together as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings, but you were not willing. See, your house is left to your desolate. For I say to you, you shall see me no more till you say, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. I know that right there was deep, but Jesus said all that to still try to get the Pharisees and the Sadducees to see that he was and is the Christ, to see that he was the Messiah. But again, they were too blind spiritually. They were too full of pride to see that he was the Christ. And the reason this is important and applied to us today, that whatever has you tricked whatever has you blind to see that Jesus is the Christ, to see that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, that no one comes to the Father except through him. Whatever has you blind to see that, whatever is stopping you from seeing that, I ask that you pray on it, pray about it, ask God to show you that he is the way, he is the truth, he is the life. That's all for today, folks. Jesus loves you. I love you. Peace.